For centuries, Rome stood as the heart of the known world, a beacon of power, culture, and conquest. But even the mightiest empires must fall. This is the epic tale of Rome's tragic descent into chaos. Once, Rome's legions were unstoppable. Their swords carved history into the lands they conquered. But within, the empire was rotting, a victim of greed, corruption, and betrayal. As the emperors grew weak, their enemies grew bold. Barbarians at the gates, generals plotting from within. Rome was on the brink of collapse. In 410 AD, the unthinkable happened. The city of Rome, the Eternal City, was sacked by the Visigoths. It was a moment that shook the world, a sign that Rome's time was ending. But Rome's decline did not happen overnight. It was a slow, agonizing collapse. Once loyal generals turned against the empire, provinces broke away, forming their own kingdoms. The economy crumbled, famine and disease spread like wildfire. Plots and assassinations became the norm. Emperor after emperor was murdered, each reign shorter than the last. Power was no longer in the hands of rulers, but in the shadows of those who pulled the strings. As Rome tore itself apart, its enemies gathered. The Huns, led by the fearsome Attila, descended like a storm. The empire, once feared, was now vulnerable. There were those who tried to save Rome, brave generals who still believed in the empire's greatness, but they were ignored, cast aside by greedy politicians more concerned with their own wealth than Rome's survival. Even Rome's mighty legions were not immune to corruption. Soldiers abandoned their posts. Some even betrayed their own people, opening the gates to invaders for a handful of gold. By 476 AD, the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by a barbarian king. The Western Roman Empire, once the greatest power on earth, was no more. But was Rome's fall truly the end, or just the beginning of a new chapter? The Eastern Roman Empire, known as Byzantium, would continue for another 1,000 years, carrying the torch of Roman civilization. Was Rome's fall inevitable, or could it have been saved? Some blame corrupt rulers, others economic collapse, and some believe it was destiny. But even in its fall, Rome never truly died. Its influence shaped the world we live in today. The echoes of Rome still whisper through time. Subscribe for more epic history.